Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 大家好. Okay, thank you for joining us. Rather than going to the casino, we will be discussing about agriculture tech. So, are you sure you're in the right place? Okay, just kidding. I am Yimie, reporter from Technode Global, based in Malaysia. Our news portal covers tech news and trends across Southeast Asia. Now, to some, agriculture tech may sound a little less exciting, but today we have two drone companies here joining us. We will talk about agriculture tech. So first we have Mr. Justin Gong from XAG. Welcome. Based in Guangzhou, XAG is dedicated to bring drones, robots, autopilot, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things into the world of agriculture production. Okay, the companies like investors include Baidu and SoftBank, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So also I'm especially delighted to welcome Mr. Kamarul from Aerodyne. Okay. My fellow countryman, okay, headquartered in Malaysia, with operations in 35 countries. Aerodyne ranked #1 in global drone service provider ranking by Drone Industry Insights in 2021 and 2022. So I'll let two gentlemen to introduce themselves briefly and your company first. So XAG, I think you have a presentation, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So let's welcome Mr. Justin.
Okay. Thank you. May I stand and it's easier for me? Yeah. Thank you for coming to this forum this afternoon, and thank you, Yimie, for introducing us. For many of you, maybe you don't know XAG. I think so. We are an agriculture technology company based in China, in Guangzhou, and we are focusing on to build the next generation of agriculture infrastructure for our next generations. And the company was founded in 2007, so it's been 16 years now, and we are focusing on agri-tech. Our goal is to build the smart agriculture system for human being, right? And currently we have 3 product lines, which are aerial robot drones, of course. The drones, not only the crop spraying drones, but also for seeding, fertilizing, etc., and remote sensing as well, agriculture survey. And the ground robot, including the AGV, autonomous ground vehicle, but also we also make the autopilot console for traditional tractors. Only in China we have 20 million tractors in China, and they all require labor to drive it. It's a very tedious job, so we also have autopilot for traditional tractors, and also farm management systems. Just like 20 years ago, the IBM, SAP, etc., those companies coming into China to help the factory to manage their resources and the labors and the costs. We are also helping our farms to manage their resource and the data. So these are our product lines. Our vision to smart agriculture is in 3 steps. One is you have to digitalize the farm management method. So digital perception is very important to reduce the cost of collecting data in field and to collect the data of the crops. Second is the scientific or intelligent decision making, because our farmers now for thousands of years still making decisions upon their knowledge and experience. That's not enough. And the third step, of course, is precision execution. Just like drones and robots that can spray chemical precisely, that can broadcast the seeds precisely. This is very, very important. If you have all the knowledge, but you don't have good machine or good service to do the job, it's not precision agriculture or smart agriculture. So we divide smart agriculture into 3 steps: perception, decision, and execution. And we are making products for this purpose. And so far we have delivered our drones and the robots and AI technologies to more than 57 countries and regions worldwide. And we gain the recognitions and certifications from all kinds of authorities around the world to make sure we are legally flying and running in those countries. And by end of last year, according to our CSR report, we have delivered more than 110,000 drones and robots worldwide, and we have helped to train more than 122,000 pilots in the field. And also because we have all the electric drones and vehicles running in the field, we have helped save a lot of water and fossil fuels as well. So this is what we made. And last year we also worked with BCG to deliver a world first agriculture carbon emission report. And by using smart agriculture, we can reduce a lot carbon emission. So this is XAG. Thank you.
Okay, now Mr. Kamarul.
All right, thanks. I'm not sure whether I have a deck, do I? Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, good afternoon. Let me introduce Aerodyne to you guys. What you're seeing on the screen is actually our footprint. We are an 8-year-old company. We started in 2015, early 2015. We are about 1,000 employees. We are operating in the 45 countries around the world today. We have two global HQ, one in Malaysia, our HQ, and another one in Middle East as well. And we have done, over the past couple of years, 21 M&As that give us all of this market access for us. So we do a lot of other things. Agriculture for us, we only started 1.5 years ago during pandemic. 1.5 years ago in a big way. Before that, we were focusing on critical infrastructure and a lot of other solutions as well. As up until last year, under our management, we manage about 300,000 hectares of agriculture. We have been ranked by Drone Industry Insights as the #1 drone service provider in the world for the last 2 years. We started to go into the ranking in 2018 at #7. So we solve critical problems, critical industrial problems. Basically all about increasing efficiency and reducing costs and increasing yield when it comes to agriculture. So for example, I can sort of spread it into 5 different categories. #1, we look at critical infrastructure. We also do logistics and transportation. As we speak, our drone right now is flying in the Himalayas, flying over 6,000 meters, supplying food and medicine on the high mountain area. And in the Caribbean, we are sending deliveries 100 kilometers across from island to island. We also do surveillance solution. We look after thousands of kilometers of pipeline around the world using our drone. In fact, we earned one of the first approval to fly BVLOS for pipeline monitoring, where our drones can fly hundreds of kilometers, flying only at 100-meter altitude. So that's actually one of the key things that we already achieved. Agriculture, of course, is very exciting. To us, agriculture is about how can we help our customer increase their yield, reduce their cost of operation. And we are very happy in just 2 years of our operation in agriculture, we have been able to increase yield by 30-40% to some of our customers. For one of our customers in palm plantation, we increased value, we created a $250 million value to them when they spend less than 5% of that amount in terms of services and technology with Aerodyne. So that's a huge value creation to our customer. So that's what we do, roughly. Aerodyne, we are really a DT3 company, which is drone tech, data tech, and digital transformation. We do not build our own drone primarily. We use what's available in the market, including from XAG as well. But what we are really, we are into the data technology and the digital transformation. Right, so when it comes, this is an example. One of our customers, we are able to increase 67% of their yield. There are customers who wants to run their operation themselves, but a lot of customers comes to us wanting a total solution. So that's what we do. We provide total solution, from doing the crop spraying to the precision agriculture, doing all the various analysis, even right down to providing the supply chain for them, right down to buying the produce and selling them and so on and so forth. We also provide funding for farmers who wants to go into agriculture, for farmers who wants to invest in drone company. So we have an agriculture super app that provide all of those components. These are the components that I talk about. We have a farmland management system, we have a crop intelligence system, we have crop services, we provide even crop technology. We have our own greenhouse system where customers can come to us. They want to grow melons. We have a system for melons. They can come to us. We provide the technology. All that they need is to provide their labor, provide funding if they have, provide land to run it. We coach them. We provide them the capability. We provide the funding. We actually buy it from them as well. So providing that visibility of the production enables bankers to actually support them. So that the kind of value chain that Aerodyne provide, including in the end, as I mentioned earlier, the marketplace and trading hub as well. Okay, this is what I talked about earlier. One customer, significant difference. And as far as Aerodyne in general, as a summary, we are a 360 DT3 company where either we supply drones to our customers or we can also at the other end provide full service solutions for them as well. High level overview. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for the very comprehensive introduction about your companies. Okay, let's get some context here about the agriculture sector. So food and agribusiness form a 5 trillion global industry that is only getting bigger. Okay, so with the world's population expected to hit 9.7 billion by 2050, agriculture needs to become more productive and sustainable. So technology can help transform the global food production system and agriculture sector. So of course, precision agriculture is also a key part in achieving this. So we'd like to know from you guys, like, what are the opportunities you see in the agriculture sector?
I start first? Okay.
You can.
There are a lot of opportunities. Just like 20 years ago, you see the digital technology coming to our daily life. And now, how it has changed our life. Agriculture desperately needs technologies. For example, like, we just talk about how a precision, farming tool, just like a spraying drone, can change their life. Farming was a very tedious job, and no one wants to do it, especially the new young generation, right? And because country like China, Malaysia, Thai, Vietnam, it's also undergoing a very fast speed of urbanization and industrialization. People moving to city, to working in the factory. No one wants to work the field. So I think the first priority is we need enough robots and drones to replace, to help increase or maintaining the food production. That's the first urgent. Second is resource, right? We're wasting a lot of resource and energy in production, in agriculture production, because it's not precisely controlled. And also environmental pollution and climate change. So I think from those perspectives, we can do a lot of things. And that's also the opportunity lies in front of us.
I would echo what you say. I mean, there's massive opportunity. Population is increasing. And then there's already scarcity of food. Food security for many countries is a big issue. The world today is, there's a lot of uncertainty, war is happening. So every part of the world, every country is talking about how do we secure food security in country. Some places have arid terrain, so they cannot produce their own food. Some countries may have their surplus. So how do we bring balance to this situation? So that's actually why at Aerodyne, we do not just look at drone technology and data technology. We also look at farming system that can run in various different disparate kind of condition. That I think is very, very big opportunity. Indoor farming, vertical farming, and that's the kind of technology that we are working on today.
Okay, just curious, because Mr. Kamarul, you mentioned about oil palm. So, and then I saw from XAG's website, like the durians can be used, like can use your technology for the planting of durians. Like what other fruits or crops that you think like there should be that provide companies, your companies, the opportunities? Any example?
No, actually, it's unlimited. We can use it to anywhere. We are working on banana. We are working on pineapple. All kind.
palm oil.
Yeah, palm oil. And we even use small drone,
Yeah.
believe it or not, for our melon indoor farming system. We use drone for pollination.
Yes, we do that. We
You
use
do that
drones
as well?
in
Yeah.
Australia, in China, in Europe. We use drones for pollination because we're losing bees.
Yeah.
The bee population globally is decreasing very fast. We need that. Yeah.
So instead of using bees, we use small drones for pollination.
Yeah.
You know, the downdraft from the drone itself actually circulate the air for
And
the
it's
purpose of
increasing the
pollination.
yield, right?
Yeah, increasing the yield.
So some say agriculture sector or the farming sector is the least digitized sector. So what's like you guys have been in the like agri business. So what's your opinion? What's your comment on that?
I think for the next 3 to 5 years, digital technology, autonomous driving, and even AI will have a big playground in the farmland rather than in the city, actually. You're facing a lot of problems in the city, regulation, the population density, right? And the adaptivity. But in the farmland, they desperately need it. So I think the market is much bigger actually in the field.
Yeah, and I totally agree with what you say as well. You know, and really, as the land area becoming smaller and smaller, that's why it's becoming more important that we run these operations efficiently. And through the use of our technology, we can actually increase yield significantly.
Okay, I was at the launch of XAG's product yesterday. So it's like very nice, very impressive drone that can do can help the farmers. But the one thing is I'm concerned is the affordability and also return on investment. So is it how is the affordability for agri-tech? Is it only for the big guys or the big farmers? How about the smaller farmers?
Actually, at the very beginning, when we designed the drone, it's designed for smallholders. Because the big farms, they usually have big machineries, like the boom spray system, right? The huge John Deere tractors, combine harvesters. But smallholders, they don't have very good, good-sized, good economical tools. So we actually designed it for smallholders. I'll give you an example. At the very beginning, when the drone was only used for crop spraying, yes, the economical side is not so good because you only use 3 to 4 times a year. If you are in the northern part of China, you only grow one season. And so you probably buy the drone and 3 years later you got the money payback. But now, the drone not only being used for spraying chemical, but also can be doing seedings and fertilizer spreading and even surveying. So the farmers actually using the drone year round. That's why, probably after half year, the money is back. So the affordability is not a big issue now, especially in Chinese market. It's become quite mature. We don't even need to do product launch. You just release the price, people will buy it. For the overseas market, yes, because it's more commercialized and more fragmented. So we're trying to see, we analyze a farmer's business model and to see how really a drone can reduce cost for each sector, each workflow. And once it will reach the break-even point, they'll buy it, no hesitation. That's my opinion. How about you?
And of course, for Aerodyne, because we are a solutions provider, service model meant that these equipments are shared among many users as well. Right? When you share this, it make it very affordable. And of course, on top of that, not only when it's shared, you have that benefit, but also you have the benefit of it being run by a professional team that knows what to do. Right? So sometimes when you use drone, it's not really just for crop spraying. You want to gain intelligence from it. Yes. These are sophisticated technology. Maybe old farmers may not understand technology so much, but if they work with service provider like us, they get what they need. They get the advice that they need. Oftentimes, these small holder or medium-sized farmers, they do not get the intelligence and the advice that they need. So what we have built is actually an intelligent AI system, just like ChatGPT. So you'll be talking to our system, and then the system will advise based on the data that we have already captured over time. And then we'll actually provide advisory, what you need to do next, and all that. I mean, some of it is already functional, but we're actually building something similar to that as well already. Thank you.
So now I would like to know about challenges. What are the challenges you face and when you want to promote agri-tech?
At the very beginning, it's quite hard to convince a farmer to use cutting-edge technology, right? Because inside the drone, you have aerodynamic, you have industrial design, cutting edge material science, everything. And it's expensive, and they never used this kind of machinery before. So to convince a farmer using a drone or a robot is very, very hard. And also, I'll give you one example. Some of our farmers, they're growing the orange trees, right? But in order for a drone or a ground robot to go in through the trees, you need at least 5 meters space in between. But they usually grow 3 meters each lane. So it's very difficult for a drone or a robot to go into it. But they're using labor to spray, right, and harvest. And the cost is going really, really high. So the very first year, we were trying to sell the drone to them. They don't want to change. After 3 years, the labor cost almost doubled. So they have to cut the trees in between, one by one. So the ground autonomous robot can go in. So it's a dynamic. I think to promote the technology into the agriculture or rural society is a dynamic thing. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4 steps.
The
It's
Kamarul?
always changing.
Yeah, and I agree. It's the same thing as well. To get the buy-in from the farmers, from the user itself, takes a lot of effort. In fact, of course, on our side, we do not deal with the smaller farmers so much. We work with medium-sized or to large corporation where they already have system and processes in place. But where we started in Malaysia, a lot of these large corporations were relying on foreign labor. And when pandemic happened, that's when we started to do agriculture. Suddenly, they found themselves without labor to do all of this work. So we went in and we introduced our solution. We did validation of a period of up to 6 months actually. And they were very surprised to see how far more effective our solution is. Right? But there was a challenge as well. The challenge is that unit dynamics, unit economics. Because whatever they were paying for those foreign labor is what is the budget that they have for our services as well. So that's the tough part.
Yeah.
So when we were rolling it out, for the first year, we were running at a loss. And we were prepared. I mean, we are well funded. We were prepared because
Same.
the first year is for us. We just do it, to get the buy-in. And subsequent year, they see big impact in the operation. And of course, we were able to revise the price moving forward as well. So there are challenge of adoption, challenge of new technology. How to get people who are traditional in their thinking. And then most importantly, the cost challenge is still quite real as well. So that's why what we wanted to do now is actually to scale this significantly. So we've been working with a lot of partners as well. And recently, because of the pandemic, there has been a lot of disruption on the supply chain. So what we have done, we have actually started building our own agri-drone as well. Agri-drone is the only one that we built. All the other enterprise drone we don't build. We built our own agri-drone. And we've been able to reduce the cost by half. By 50%. So that actually helped us to grow as well. These are the less sophisticated requirements because drone of course they are the good, highly sophisticated one. But if you want to do a sprayer drone, for example, you can buy all the various parts. But of course our expertise is in the data side. So we already built a sophisticated management system and all that. Right? So it's all about optimizing. It's all about linking all the requirements together.
I think I will add one more thing. The difficulty thing is because we are dealing with drones, right? So in different countries, you have different authorities, and usually the laws or regulations are very old, right? They were designed for radio control, hobby drones or civil aviation. So even you have the regulation, it's very hard to comply with. So we have to work together closely with the local authorities and the government members to work out how we can regulate the agriculture drone for the farmers. And we don't want the farmers to apply for each flight every morning. It's impossible.
Yeah, I agree with that. In fact, in Malaysia, we work very closely with the Civil Aviation Authority. In fact, we are the first company that are certified to be as an operator of agriculture drone in Malaysia. Yeah, the first one. And then also likewise, actually the regulators, it's only because they don't understand the industry. It takes a lot of engagement from us to actually give perspective to them. We are also the first drone company in the world to be given BV loss approval to fly. In fact, we've done where we flew 100 kilometers flying only at 100-meter altitude. Can you imagine that? Right. We have done that already.
Yeah.
There are many firsts.
We spent 5 years in the UK to get a license to fly, to spray chemical, and it was also the first one in the UK. And especially countries like France, Switzerland, Netherlands, very strict in agriculture, right? And in Japan, they're not allowing you to drip any chemical during the flight. If you drip, it's chemical poisoning. Yeah, so laws like that you have to comply with.
We still have some time, so we'd like to ask, like, what's your company's plan for the rest of this year, and do you have any target?
You go first.
Well, we as I mentioned earlier, we've been growing by expanding our footprint globally. We have done 21 M&As so far. We have about 10 more to do within the next 12 to 14 months. And I think today the market is consolidating. Strange time right now, and a lot of drone players are actually in trouble. So we are getting offers constantly about, hey, can we be part of the group? You know, having or rather creating a global entity also enable us to serve those large corporations. We have many companies, for example, many clients that they have operations in 20 countries, for example, and they want to deal with one organization. So having that global footprint enable us to tap into those opportunities. Even just the past couple of months, we enter Italy and we enter Brazil, and immediately both of them were able to expand their businesses significantly in those countries because of having that global track record, being able to not just serve in country, and also it gives that brand strength. It gives a lot of comfort to our customer. So that's what we are building. We are also doing our fundraise right now as well. Our Series C is ongoing right now, and maybe what's next will be IPO.
When?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 years from now, but we will go through Series C first. Yeah.
How about XAU?
Yeah, for that part, very similar. To expand the global footprint, agriculture technology is highly relying on the food. You have to go out. So this year, reconnect with the world is very important after the 3 years of COVID, right? So we have to go out, meet our partners like Aerodyne, in different countries, and to see the local circumstances of the farmers, what they need in terms of technology and economy and pricing and everything. And the second thing is to continue to develop more product line, because at the very beginning in 2007 when we found the company, we had a passion of flying, and we're trying to find an industry that can fit best of our technologies. After we are inside agriculture, we dive into agriculture, and we found agriculture need more technologies. So we're constantly bringing more and more technology, crossing the border into agriculture, into the farmland, and to help farmers. So we will continue to do that. Of course, the other side is the cash flow. Increase the sales, doing fundraising. We are also just opened a pre-IPO fundraising. Yes. So yeah.
How much you gonna raise?
It's open. It's open. Yeah. Because agri-tech is really undervalued at this moment, right? If you close your eye, think about it. Is there any good agri-tech company around the world? You name it, very little, right? So we have to set the standard, set idol for other companies, right? To see there's a future in agri-tech.
So before we conclude the session, we'd like to ask a piece of advice from you, these two gentlemen, like how should maybe investor or maybe government or maybe farmers, like how to promote agri-tech? Do you have any suggestion or advices?
Well, I do see, at least in my region, in the country where we are operating, I do see an increasing emphasis and focus on agri-tech. In our home ground in Malaysia, food security issue is becoming very, very serious. The government is already talking about the importance of having that security. Many of the other countries that we are operating as well are also talking about this. So I think we are on the right track in a way. We are also in the Central Asia. Central Asia also are talking about food security. Brazil are secured. Brazil have every food requirement is actually produced in country, so they don't talk about that. But yeah, many parts of the world are looking at this as a very key thing. And it's not just, when we talk about agri-tech, it's not just limited, of course, to just drone, right? You talk about agri-tech in general. I'm seeing Indonesia, for example, is very big in terms of agri-tech, e-fisheries, e-tani, tani hub. There's a lot of them happening. Many unicorns also in agri-tech. Not so much in Malaysia yet, but in many parts of the world. In Middle East too. Key focus for them right now is agri as well. And then there's a lot of innovation requirement in the Middle East because the climate is not really that suitable. So a lot of this is actually about farming system, indoor farming, how they can actually sustain production, or rather to do production to sustain their population as well.
And we have seen the rapid growing of technologies in the cities, right, in our life. But in most of the countries, agriculture is still the primary industry. Like Aerodyne, in this vision, because we can't avoid it. We are human beings. We need to eat food, right? I know there's another summit talking about we're taking pills and stuff, right? But agriculture, growing food from the land is still, at least for the next 10, 20, 30, even 50 years. So we have to think about infrastructure. So that's why I think the necessity of promoting agri-technology is not just for the business and the investors, it's for all countries. So we have to raise the awareness of the necessity of increasing investment and development in the farmland.
So I would like to wrap up the session. So if you are interested about XAG, they have a booth behind there. You can check out their big drone. And if you have any questions for Mr. Kamarul, you can talk to him. But if you are a little bit shy that maybe you can't speak that well in English, I can help to translate. I promise to be as good as the iFly rack. Okay. Thank you.